Test, test. Can you guys hear me? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, let me know. Looks like the mic is good, but you can never tell with Twitch. Cool. For loud and clear, the stream is intended for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. How you guys doing? Sunday. Hope it's going well for you guys. Just hanging out with the family. Got the kids down for the nap, so I want to look at some stuff and get it documented. Not documented, but there's a lot of people that want to see the videos and they catch up on them when they're a day later or so. That's a good time to do it. But it's been super boring weekend. We've been range bound as can be, which leads us up to like what's coming next week, because I don't think next week is going to be very calm for a lot of reasons, and we can go into that and cover it, because there's a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff, doom and gloom, and some of it I think is justified, some of it is kind of wishful thinking, but the truth of it is you don't really know until it actually prints, and that's what you need to be aware of. So don't bet on that you know what is going to happen, but you know that it's coming, right? So we'll look at a few charts, but I've got a lot of news stuff I want to cover, so you guys are aware of like what I'm looking at and what stuff you may want to put on your radar. Put that back on. But anywho, Bitcoin's boring as can be. Frankly, if you're trading it in this range, bravo to you, because this is not something I like to mess with. There's no movement here. High to low-ish is like 6%. Ethereum's doing the same thing. Ethereum's just going sideways. Testing support over and over. Now maybe this is consolidating and it's about to pop, but I don't know. I'm just really waiting, and I'll go into it in a second. Zcash took another swing low. Let's check Bcash. There it is. Yeah, Bcash got a lower low, and now it's tagging another one. It had a bit of a run, but frankly, everything has been super boring. The only thing I'm really messing with right now, I'm waiting for KNC to see if it pops, and I posted this up, and I opened up a dedicated Discord channel just where I can post like the setups. I post a lot of stuff, but it's just I'm gonna start posting up like the specific things like I'm watching, and KNC is one of them right now. Alameda completely dumped it on its head. It pulled back like 40-something%, and it's just been kind of color rotating. So I'm waiting for it to wake up per se. We haven't seen that yet, but it's maybe doing the retest right now. So if we're lucky, that'll be the nice setup. But if Monday morning comes a knocking and Wall Street nukes, I'm not looking to really hang on to KNC. In all honesty. We can see if anything's actually moving today. I don't think much is moving. JST, Maker, Maker I've been watching. I don't know why, but Maker DAO has been kind of going pretty hard. And Maker normally follows Ethereum, but it's kind of diverging here. So it's kind of interesting to see what's going on. Yeah, I appreciate it, Vital. Someone was asking about RSR. Oh man, this is awesome. We have the old chart. Can't make it up. This is apparently an old chart we did on a stream way back in the day. That's cool. Consolidation, you've got your spring here, and then they full sent it up. I did not see this spring last night when I looked at it. I forgot. I think someone in the Discord was asking about it. But we hit TP1. You can see the resistance at TP2, and now they're at TP3. And he was asking if we should short it, and frankly, that's looking like we should soon. Oh, that's frustrating. I missed it. It's cool to see that last drive go slightly low, wipes out everybody's stop losses, and then it goes up. That triggers a lot of the Wyckoff guys. I wanted to check Cake too. Yeah, Cake bounced off our TP level to a T, and it's rejected. Now we're trying to see if it can find support again. But overall, if you can't tell, I'm not interested in too much. And one of the reasons why is Friday, right at the close, S&P took a nuke. And this is something cool. Is Altcoin Psycho, if you don't follow him, he's one of the greatest. Go follow that dude. He's super nice as well, but this was a really cool tweet thread between Altcoin Psycho and also Crypto ISO. So shout out to Crypto ISO too. He's a really cool dude. Both the dudes are good friends. But they started getting into like, hey, what's going on? They're surprised. Saying it all started with saying, surprised I haven't seen more people talking about Friday's option flow. I have no read as to how the market will open on Monday, and I'll remain flat, but this will be interesting to watch. Just remember, no trade is a trade. So he's saying like, hey, stuff's kind of going down. Might want to risk off and just kind of sit back and let it print, right? Because basically, they came in hard. Crypto ISO was coming in and saying it was a caller trade from Jamie Dimon. Psycho's coming back saying, he said, yeah, I saw the JPM caller trade. This is more than just a caller, though. And he's saying there's $1.3 billion in puts came in on Friday. And the S&P kind of took a shit on that. It was pretty stable throughout the day, and at the very end of the day, it went nuts. And we printed a new low, which has really got me on edge. And makes me really, really upset that this stuff doesn't trade on the weekends. Messy chart, pro streamer, I know, but this is what we've been tracking for over 6 months now on stream. And my line in the sand is that last pivot. 35.88. And we closed below 35.88 right in the last hour of the S&P. And it's from a pivot point back from August of 2020. But this is basically the last support pivot block that's really there before we start stair stepping down. There's one at like 3,400. There's some really good resistance at 32, and then obviously at 3,000. So like, to me, we're sitting on the edge. We printed a lower low. If we're lucky, this thing springs. If we're lucky, but I'm not really interested in much until I see that. I know Pintoshi's talking about this completely shooting back up. Maybe he's right. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like slamming in here early isn't going to help you. Wait for this to make it like a true decision. Because if this thing just starts going like we're in for some serious hurt. Serious hurt. DJI, Dow Jones Industrial, was looking bad as well. DJI looked god awful, frankly. Let me switch this to 4 hour. Like, we're back to where we were right before. We're below where we started right before the COVID dump, right? That's the COVID dump. That's your black swan of all black swans. But like, this is not looking healthy. And basically 2 years of is gone, completely wiped out. Thank you for the follow. Grail XBT. That's a cool name. But I think these are people offloading, and I think that's your false bull bear market rally. But DJI is not looking good. The next pivot down is like 27.5. And if we start working towards this, the S&P is going to come down with it, right? So not looking good, frankly. Not my favorite. Not my favorite look. So Psycho was on it. He saw it. ISO was looking into it as well. Also, other big news event. China is having really, really hard time with their currency. And basically, China over the weekend was basically telling state banks to prepare for a massive dollar dump and yuan buying spree as Beijing's prior interventions have failed to stem its currency's worst year since 1994. So this is hitting Monday. What it will do, I have no idea, but it's not a nothing burger, most likely. So we will have to like you hear me preach a lot, like wait till Wednesday. That's a real big thing for me. Markets shake up on Monday because it's the fresh open, and then shenanigans happen usually until about the end of the day Tuesday, and then Wednesday is when we can move forward with like our lives and see like the true direction. We got to realize like the monthly just started. Monday will be the new monthly, also the new quarterly, and then you got all these shenanigans with the stress of the world banks going down right now. So for the next like 3 days, I'm really not wanting to do anything except watch the charts, because anybody who can tell you like what the direction is going to go confidently Monday is out of their minds. Um, Another thing that's going to hit, OPEC's about to start cutting production because the price of oil has started to fall. But no surprise, they've told us below 90, they're going to start cutting. And we've been below 90 for quite a few days now. Pretty much September 5th was the last day we were above 90. Maybe there. September 14th, whatever. It's over 2 weeks we've been going down. So it's going to get interesting because Biden's going to quit dumping the oil reserves and then they're going to cut production. So oil may shoot back up again, and that's not something we want to see to print a S&P 500 bottom or a world market bottom. We want the oil to keep coming down in V bottom along with the S&P. If we could get that, we could potentially print a confident bottom. But right now, that's going to hit and that's going to shake oil prices up. No matter what you want or what you say, that dude's in control of oil prices. The other thing that's going to have to shake out this week, and it's one of the type of dominoes that's going to play out, and it's going to have to play out until it plays out. You won't be able to TA this. You're basically going to have to see how degen these world banks really are. And if one or two of them actually fall, you're going to see them stress the other ones out. And that's what this is pointing out to, saying CS is not the only major bank whose price to book is flashing warning signals. The list below is of the GSIB and PTBs of under 40%. A failure of one of them is likely to call the survival of the others into question. So that's the thing. If we start having contagion basically play out. But it looks like CS, Deutsche Bank, Credit, I don't know what this is, UniCredit are getting pretty close. And this isn't stuff I'm terribly familiar with. This is just basically I'm going to say, hey, it's likely big news. I'm going to see what actually happens because it's not looking good. And CS's prices are just tanking. So you got to remember, like, banks leverage themselves. So we saw 3AC fall. We might see these guys fall. And if that happens, like, a lot of stuff's going to go down if banks start falling. Give me 1 second because there's an article I want to read. Yeah, here it is. The next one. So this is another guy. I've really started paying attention to Holger. Yeah, that last name. Don't know, but he's got a terminal and he posts really cool terminal charts. But he's showing you that the is this? No, this isn't the credit default swap. No, it is. Yeah. So basically, what they're saying is this is the cost of the insurance of CS Bank, and it's skyrocketing. And what that means is that's the insurance in the event that they default. So when prices are going up, it means the odds are there's more likelihood that they're going to default. And then this was another one I saw from Lynn Alden. Actually, I think Stacks posted this in the Discord. We're seeing a lot of social media chatter about bank contagion. So I'll retweet it here. The big economic and financial here in 2020 are centered in sovereign bonds, currencies, and energy. There's no centered primarily banks like in 2008, except for some areas. But we'll see. She's right on the fact about the currency and the energy crises, but the thing is about these banks, in my opinion, is you don't know how degen people really are until they're struggling, and that's what we're starting to see. So this is not what we were exactly expecting. But if this stuff starts going down, Grail, crypto is going to go down too. So if the S&P nukes, we'll see what happens. I don't have this chart ready, but I can make it real quick, maybe. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter real quick, because I don't want to redo it. There it is. So I didn't want to spend 5-10 minutes making this. So someone was posted this up as the chart of the year. So I thought it was pretty interesting. The DXY versus the CXY versus the AXY, the EXY, the BXY, and the JXY. So basically it's showing you the relative strengths of multiple currencies this year. And basically milkshake theory is kind of going down, and the US dollar is sucking the life out of everything. So this is why you're seeing like stocks go so down. The US dollar is being squeezed by the Fed, and everything else is dropping in relationship to it. So it's kind of scary. We go to. I didn't check the DXY. We can check that real quick. Starting to show signs of weakness on the real low time frames, but frankly, I don't think this thing's going to reverse on the 1 hour and you're going to be able to call it. This is a 3-day chart that we've got this curve. And mind you, the DXY has been going parabolic for over 10 months. So this thing has no intention of slowing down overnight. It's going to take a while to break through. And right now it is coming in hot, 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 hot. And the pivot order block we have for it is in the 120s. We've been charting this since freaking May, I think. No. Yeah. Anyway, we've been charting this for a long time, and you can see it in the old tweets. But long story short, this would be a really nice level to rip the band-aid off and reverse this. And if we can do this, if this thing reverses, that'll print you the S&P bottom, that'll print you the Bitcoin bottom most likely. So if we can get that, that's really awesome. The caveat to that is if we truck right through this, we are in for a world of hurt. You will see the governments come in and apply brakes and measures to the market they haven't done since like the 70s or 80s. So we'll see. I don't think gold is that good anymore. We could check it though. Gold's kind of going down. I think the safe haven asset of gold is just not what it used to be. For a government standpoint, this thing's really hard to deal with because they have to deal with it physically. And shipping it, moving it, protecting it, all that's really, really hard. So I'm not so crazy about the gold bug because frankly, like with all the issues we've had with inflation, gold should just be screaming. But it's not. It's done the opposite. So I think we've got an underlying issue with the currencies, more or less. So, anywho, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. What I'm telling you guys is don't sit here and start leveraging on a Sunday when all this stuff is coming next week. Most crypto people want to degen long. They don't want to degen short, right? Technically, from a chart standpoint, like we're looking at a range low, right? That's not Bitcoin. There we go. If the world wasn't melting down and having issues and Bitcoin wasn't correlated to the S&P heavily, I'd be building positions here. But because of all the stuff that's coming up this week, I'm kind of just like, you know what? I'm gonna chill out until something really happens. The other thing is like Russia's really talking about using nukes. Um, all of this stuff, all the rainbow trends, all the charts, all the TA, all the on-chain doesn't matter if atoms start splitting. So that's the reality of it. No one can predict what happens if they actually drop one, other than it won't be stable in the world because you likely wake up NATO. So, is what it is. And I'm pro Bitcoin and I'm pro making bags, right? But I'm waiting. Um, I don't have an edge here if the banks and all that are going to start going through issues. I mean, you got to remember this was 3AC or no, this was Luna getting destroyed. This was 3AC getting destroyed. What if the world banks get destroyed in 48 hours? Right? Like, keep that in mind. 3AC is nothing compared to CS, like, or all those other banks if they start having issues. So, like, we got to be really, really careful there. And just like, just like the people that had issues or money at 3AC and they can't get them back, it really shakes the world when people can't get their money out of banks when banks default and stuff like that. I just accidentally put RSI markers on split volume. Never done that before. So anyway, otherwise, like this bottom third, like bell curve wise, great area to be in. Great area. Wrong tool. But yeah, if like JP Morgan's buckling down, you should probably be looking at, it could be raining next week, right? But otherwise, this is a good area time to build bags in this area. Maybe we get another jump up, swing up here. But like, we got to have some really, really good things happen in this world to hit 25,000. And I'm really not sure what to think of the nuclear threats that they're making right now. But Putin has flat out said the United States set precedent for it so that they can do it. And I'm like, well, okay. I hate bombs and stuff like that. I wish humans could just be chill. Dogs have got the world figured out as soon as they're puppies. We got to keep buying tanks and stuff. It sucks. But anyway, that's the read. And frankly, like, guys, like, there's nothing going on. Like, out of all of Binance, they don't even have a single low cap coin over 10%. And I realize you guys can't see my screen right now. None of these are over 10% change. Oh, this is the new layout. I can't show you guys. But anyway, like, you go look at the top 10 or the top coins on Binance, there's nothing over 10% right now. So unless you're really good at making money going sideways, but you wouldn't be here if you were. That's where we're really at. And that's the thing too, like, we may get some like crazy news and this candle may just nuke to here, and like, I'll buy a bag and scalp it as it comes back up. But like right now, we don't have a read right now on what the whales are doing. With the stuff that you're seeing on like JP Morgan, like trying to do a collar trade, they're not really looking at bullish things. So anyway, but this was cool stuff to see. I don't follow this a lot. Mainly I follow Dylan LeClaire and just watch the world burn, and we'll see. Eventually he's going to turn bullish, and that's going to be a really, really good indicator. Other thing, we've lost a lot of executives. A lot of miners are going through capitulations right now, and actually had a pretty good. I was on a Spaces with Stacks and Crypto ISO, and Zach Val showed up, and I actually got to talk to him about some of these big mining companies going down, and it was really interesting. But unfortunately, as they're stepping down, we also lost the Kraken CEO. So we lost one of my favorite CEOs. I used to always talk about Kraken and Zcash as a joke. Then lo and behold, I became a believer. I really like Kraken, and Sad to see him go. Wish him the best. FTX lost a president as well, Brett Harrison. Not crazy about FTX, but I am crazy about Kraken and Jesse, so I'm sad to see him go. Which also kind of scared me because while all this was going down, CZ was posting pictures of him in Africa, like right up on some hippos, and I'm just like, I actually replied back, say, please don't upset the hippo. I can't stand one of my other favorite guys getting taken out. But other thing, Mark Zuckerberg struggling. Meta is basically completely fallen off the charts. Why Facebook rebranded and focused on AI, I don't know, but could be the signs of a tech bubble bursting. So keep an eye on that one. Stacks will likely bell over that in the Discord. Winter's coming as well, so I thought this was pretty funny. Germany's going to be going through the shit this winter. There's nothing to say about it, other than they're going to be struggling to keep people from freezing and not have their electricity bills 20x from what they already are now, which are already up like 10x. But this brings into another point. Russia's threatening about nuclear weapons as we're approaching winter. Traditionally, Russia has a big advantage in winter. So why they're projecting the needs to use nukes when they're getting into winter time, which is their time to shine, I think it's maybe forecasting a sense that they're not really doing so hot in this war. So hopefully we can wrap this thing up soon. If we wrap this thing up soon, I mean, trust me, as much as I've talked about the XRP God Candle from the court case, we will get a war God Candle if they declare a ceasefire or a treaty. Keep an eye out for that. There will be a rally. How strong that is, I don't know, but the whole world is worried about Russia right now, as they should. On traditional news, Sol fell off the charts again as the network went offline. So kudos to that team. As much crap as Vitalik gets with Ethereum 2.0, you never see any of this. But I will say Solana went offline at a record speed. No other crypto could compare with how fast they went out. The shutdown set records. So if you can't tell, I'm kidding. Sol's got an ungodly speed and hash rate that it can do, but man, does it not stay online. Another kind of interesting thing I saw, there are 152 Lamborghini, however you say that, SUVs on sale right now on eBay. That's an insane number for any car, let alone a $250,000 SUV. For reference, there are only 144 Honda Civics in total of all generations going back into like the 1970s. So maybe we're getting close to a bottom. I thought it was pretty interesting. That's crazy to me that there's 144 Honda Civics and 152 of a model they haven't been making for only a few years. So anyway, that's all that. But yeah, that's my scope of what I think's coming up, where you guys should be positioned. And like Allcoin Psycho said, like, no trade is a trade. Speaking personally, I've been hedged on life savings since here October, so I'm officially a year in hedged. I missed the top, but I've just been sitting here, and I've had to watch these rallies come and go. So I'm very, very, very vested in trying to figure out where this thing bottoms, because I don't want to lose this entry or this exit at 4,300 and not nail the re-entry. But which just sucks because I'm in crypto, and as this comes down, it hurts my crypto portfolio. But this bag, the life savings bag, I'm going to try to re-enter it somewhere around here. So ideally, if we can get the midterms out in like November, we could get maybe a Russia peace treaty. We've got a really, really good argument that Dimes, crypto paradigms play happens. We get our midterms and we bounce somewhere, and then we're off to the races. But the other thing you've got to realize too is I don't think there's been a single bear market during quantitative tensioning that the market has reversed before Jerome Powell has decided, or before the Fed has decided to reverse rates. So that's the other big thing. We've got FOMC coming up this month. We've got to see where Jerome Powell brings us in rate-wise. If he's going to drop another 75, 100, a 125, a 50, a 0, we don't really know. And I posted this. I posted this on Twitter, and I will try to find it real quick. Because it's frankly the truth, and nobody wants to really say it. But the easiest trade you're going to have right now, and you can't see it because it's on the corner. Let me print this, and then I will put it on TradingView. There you go. One day, this man is either gonna say 0 basis points. One day, it hasn't happened yet. He has forecasted once he gets what he wants to see happen, he will stop hiking rates, and then he will look at decreasing again or start increasing if they need to. So eventually he's going to get this bad boy under control, knock on wood. We don't really know, but that's their plan. And then he's going to come out on an FOMC meeting and say, no rate hikes. And if that happens, you have a really good opportunity, because historically speaking, just about every time the Fed has stopped, S&P bottomed. So that's what we got coming. We can get Jerome Powell. I mean, like, that's the thing, guys. Like, be realistically with yourself. We're right on the edge of a double pivot on the rainbow trim, and the Fed is increasing rates. We're likely to lose this. China's going to come out and dump the dollar, which may actually bring stocks up if it brings DXY down, actually, but who knows. But I can say if we get the credit banks contagion thing with them starting to default, like, this isn't going to fly. So, anyhow. Plexo, I'm not really sure. My best advice is to go watch that actual speech he had last time, not actually listen or not actually read what he said, because the tone at which he said stuff was basically, to me, he's coming and he's going to keep applying the brakes. There was not a single mention of a soft landing anymore. That Powell's coming in hard. So you got to do what you got to do. Rainbow Trends right now shows you're breaking through this pivot. And if they don't save it on Monday morning, we're coming down for this one. That is all TA, no FA. That's all. Like, we're coming down. How far we stair step, I don't know. But as long as they keep rate hiking this stuff, like, we're going to go lower. Unfortunately. And it's not that, like, I want this to happen. Obviously, I want all this stuff to go up to the moon and we get all those Lambos off eBay. But that's the reality. And this is a messy chart that I don't want to mess up with because I've been drawing on this for a year. Whew. Because we've been channel walking, shift channel walk, shift channel walk. I guess we need another line, but now we're back into this. But do you guys have any questions? Because I've been on a bit of a rant, and I wasn't expecting to rant that long. I hope you guys are well. Football's having fun if you watch football. UFC's been pretty good lately. Weather's starting to cool off where I'm at. Fishing's getting better. Gas prices are cheaper, at least for now. Speaking of that, let's check diesel. Yeah, we want that midterm balance on the diesel. More than oil, I want diesel bottomed. Diesel lines up much better with the S&P for bottoming purposes. Why? I don't really know, other than it's post-processing, which may be part of it. I don't really know. That and all the transportation runs off it. Transportation doesn't use nearly as much gasoline. What's my opinion of the gas line sabotage? Frankly, it wasn't being used. So they blew up a pipeline that wasn't actually being used. So it shouldn't affect supply so much. At least that's my understanding of it. I'm glad to be wrong. But it's not good and it's not cool. And the depth of that water makes me think it's likely a high up military operation that did it. Those things are normally buried. At least in the Gulf of Mexico, pipelines like that, they're buried under the sand or the muds in the ocean, so you can't even see them. Like if you had a diver down there or a submarine, like you can't see the pipeline. Like you got to find the damn thing and then blow it up. And they blew it up in the middle of an ocean, so like a terrorist group couldn't really pull that off. An upset billionaire could, but I would imagine it's some type of military operation. But the U.S. is going to point at Russia. Russia's going to point at the U.S. I don't know, and we'll never know. So, I mean, they're not going to be able to put those pieces back together. But it's unfortunate. But frankly, for the past 30, 40 years, Germany has been, instead of building nuclear power plants and energy independence, they've been building pipelines to Russia. At the same time, they've been in NATO, which is to counter Russia. So I mean, they're gonna pay for the lessons learned of the mistakes they made over the past like 30 years. Oh, 670. I got it. It's 290 here. Jeez. And my daily driver runs on premium, so it really sucked. But man, 670 is insane. I think what's his name said they're gonna let you guys get the winter blend fuel sooner though for California. I don't know how much that'll help, but I think isn't that just higher E85 for you guys? I don't know. Is there ethanol futures? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, your gasoline in your car is about 85% gasoline and it's 15% ethanol, which is essentially alcohol made from corn. In other words, Everclear. I don't know what F futures. We can look at F futures and then ethanol. And then if you see E85 gasoline, that's actually 85% alcohol, 15% gasoline. But I don't recommend it. Even if your car is rated for 85, I would not recommend it. You get lower miles per gallon, so that your cost basis for filling up your car is kind of a wash, but you have to do your oil changes twice as fast as normal, and oil changes are not cheap. So, Litecoin conference is coming up. We didn't check Litecoin. Nothing. Oh, good transition. People have been asking me about some of the liquidity stuff I've been looking at. This is a good time to show it. High Block Capital. You guys can't see the top of the screen, which has their name. I've been playing with this. Friend Crypto ISO has been using it. He seems to do pretty well with it. So I've been sniffing it out, just trying to see it. But I'll show you guys some of the stuff it does. It's still in beta, but I paid for the access to play with it, so anybody can sign up for this. Don't think it's like a special thing. So this is Binance. No, I want to see the heat map first. Not an affiliate, not anything. I don't get paid by them, frankly. I'm paying them to use these tools right now. So this is Bitcoin. I missed it. Go back. So this is the Bitcoin heat map for liquidation levels. And you guys used to see me do Trading Light where you could actually see where open orders were. This is kind of the opposite. This is showing you the levels where stuff has already been opened and where they would likely liquidate. You can't actually see liquidation levels from the exchanges or the APIs, but they have some secret sauce about how they measure it, and it's pretty cool. They only have this for Bitcoin currently, for the heat map ones, which I'm hoping they get it for the other ones because I really, really want to see this. But long story short, your cluster is at like 18.5. There's a big liquidation. 18.8. Go back to it. So there's, I think it's 29 million. Yeah. So 29 million worth of liquidations here at 18.5. 28 at 18.8. And then you've got some liquidity here, some liquidity here, but the big boy liquidity is up here, basically at 21,000. So it's pretty cool. Shoot, let's look 1 year. I've never done this. Ah, shoot, that's BitMEX. I want Binance. Yeah, and it's really cool. Is like the pivot points from like the rainbow trends. They show you these areas where the whales likely are, and then this is just confirming like the pivot points from the rainbow trends are like dead on. It's been really cool to see it. So, at $25,000, there's $128 billion worth of Bitcoin liquidations would happen if we hit that from the shorters. That's crazy. On the flip side, if we nuke down, that's 138 billion, another 136. So that's those are your liquidation heat maps. And give me a second. Let me kill off. Nope, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. I will have to make a custom layout where you guys can see the scales on the side. But it shows you the colors of the heat map. But basically, the closer you get to yellow, the more money it is. So they have that. They also have this one, liquidation levels, and it lets you see multiple coins. So we can run this on Ethereum. You have to calculate it every time. So it shows you the actual liquidations on those bubbles, and it shows you long versus short here on the bottom. But for me, lately, I've been switching the presets to not see the bubbles, and I've been switching all the colors to green for longs. And the shorts, I've been switching to red. I don't know why they do that personally, but to me, it doesn't make sense. Alright, I want that 0. Alright, so there is, I'm gonna lose it. There you go. So these are your green liquidation levels for your bulls on Ethereum. So if you get down here, they're gonna start getting wiped out. You can see their heat maps here. So like there's 60 million right here at that bottom, and that's where we've been holding. Those guys have been able to hold that liquidity. These guys lost. These guys are still holding on. So it's really cool to see this kind of like on-chain data per se. And you can actually see like, let it load. So you can see this guy, this bull has held on. There, he was not liquidated. This guy shorted on the way down. The bulls came back and ate him. They took him out. Same thing here. Someone built shorts up on this hierarch here. They came out and wicked him out, and then the price rolled over. So it's really interesting is you're actually getting to see the whales come up and slap this stuff around to get liquidity out. They're sending these guys liquidation emails, and that Ethereum or whatever it is, cash, comes out into the market. So let me put the bubbles back on. Yeah. So you can see those guys that longed here got liquidated, and that's what those bubbles represent. It means they were killed. Now it's estimated, right? You can't see this stuff for real. But these guys have got a lot of fancy math behind it, so yeah. No, I'm gonna lose it. Cancel. Ugh. So anyway, it's cool to see because you're actually getting to see like what the whales are actually trying to do. The whales are like, I want those shorts, I want to eat them alive, and they did, and then they wanted these, and they came up and tagged them. But this was drawn before this move up, so it's really cool to see them come up and slap that and get that liquidity removed from the market, or opened up to the market. And as soon as they killed them, the majority of it was bulls now. So they got rid of their bears here. Now we've got more of a bullish trend on the Ethereum side. So it's pretty cool. RSR we can take a look at, maybe, if it's here. It is. Whew! Alright, so what this is saying is the books are giga long right now. These shorts that were printed here at these tops of the ranges, they got liquidated up here, right here, on this first move up. And now let me switch up the profile because these are big bubbles. Apply, and we will zoom in. I've only had it this stuff for this weekend, so I'm no expert at all, but I understand what they're doing, and I've been comparing the hell out of it compared to like the rainbow prints, and it's really interesting to see the correlations. So yeah, the big boys longed this up, and then they started shorting it. The shorts got wiped out. The longs are still holding, except those got knocked out. These are still there though. They've been going up. But now it's starting to come back down and liquidate and tag this stuff. So we'll see. There's liquidity wise, the liquidity is under this trend. And if you look at RSR and the rainbow stuff, it is hot. It's calling for a pullback. So we'll see. This is likely going to come back down and mean revert here. You got a bunch of volume stacked, and you can see it here too. It's kind of cool. RSR. BAT, CHC, Comp, Doge, DeFi, ETC I do want to look at. This is like a delta filter. you go. The tier 1 shows smaller bags. So yeah, they liquidated these guys here, and then now the liquidity's up above. But not much. I'll wait for this to potentially fall off a cliff. And hopefully they get this time frame opened up because I want to see this stuff further out. But I don't know. I find it interesting. Let me know if you guys are. You guys went stone cold quiet in the chat, but I thought it was pretty nifty. Liquidation heat map. Net position heat map. What is this? So it's only BitMEX, last 12 hours. I'm not so big on that. Open Inches profile. It's another tool they have. I haven't played with this stuff. I've only played with a few things. Let me go back. So they also have some type of trading view integration, which I thought was pretty cool. They don't have mini coins yet, but this was something that was kind of cool. They have an indicator on top traders, long and short accounts. Top traders, long and short accounts, positions. So you have to go back to the defaults and you have to switch these to show shorts and longs. But I wanted to show you guys something nifty. On Bitcoin, it looks like they have a tool that actually shows you when people are exiting BARTs, so you can actually see in real time how the BARTs are traded by the top whale positions. So long and short accounts. It's this one I like. So I've got the way where we can see this stuff with Rainbow Trends, but this is the top traders long and short accounts. So you can see as this pump goes into a BART. Let me see if I can draw here. Yeah, cool. As we go into a BART, so I can actually draw this where you can see it. I don't know why it looks like that. But yeah, as we go into a Bart Simpson pattern, you can see that the top traders on Binance started pulling off their longs. This green line is their longs. So you can see that these top tier leverage traders on Binance started taking profits going into a Bart Simpson. Now, if you've only seen the front part of the Bart Simpson, that looks bullish. But as this drive was going up, they were taking out their longs, and yet they were increasing their shorts. And then it ends up going boom. And then on the way down, they built their longs back up, and they offloaded their shorts. So they shorted up to here, profited down here. It's really cool to see this because how they're gathering this data, I don't know, but it's not something you can get off Bone Stock Trading View. I can tell you that. It's really cool. Plexo, the X's are RSI markers. The pivots are the dash line. But anyway, I thought this was super cool. And you can see the move back up here. They offloaded their longs. They increased their shorts. Let's go see what they're doing right now. Right now they're getting long. So I want to pull that position thing back up. I need to read the documentation if it does exist. Because this is the BART. Top traders, long and short positions. I can't read anything about it. So you can see the inverse of the longs dripping off, but somehow this is top traders, long and short positions. I don't know. This moves after the fact to me. Yeah, I don't want to look at that tool anymore. Oh, this is the bigger BART, and you can see it here as well. It's not really a BART because it went kind of high, but it's a BART. Here, that move up, they bailed. Like, they didn't wait for this, they bailed there. And then when it came back down, they got back into their position. It's crazy. So you're this is showing you what the whales are doing, like, with their actual money. It's pretty interesting. I wonder how far this thing goes back. So I wonder if we can go see the BARTs from like a long time ago. Nope. Well, let it load. Maybe we will. What's up, Stacks? We were talking about you earlier. Is this? Yeah, that's the all-time high. So this is when we were going through BART City. Um. Hmm. Both times. Down on the short position or down on the long positions as we go up the BARTs. I really want to add open interest. I really wish I could see this on other charts, indicators. No. I don't know. There's a leaderboard on Binance, so I'd imagine they're pulling the data off the Binance data books. It's what I think. I don't know though. All this stuff's still beta, and I can't see all the information. Hell, maybe they'll come on stream and they could explain it to us. That'd be cool. Apparently, there's a team of about 10 or 11 that are building this, so it's pretty cool. But I was playing with it and I was just messing around with all their stuff, and I saw that they had a tool that could actually like trade BARTs, and I was like, oh shit, that's interesting. Now here, yeah, they offloaded into it. Let's see what they did at the all-time high. Yeah, that's the all-time high. So they didn't short the all-time high. They bailed some there, but they may have had that ripped out of their hands. It's interesting. Notice to say, I really wish I could add an EMA to this to smooth it out, but this looks like raw data prints. But right now in the chop that we're doing, it seems to be on. So it's kind of interesting. I wonder if I can add alerts on this. No. I wish I could get this tool on normal trading view. Maybe you can, I don't know. If you could join Plexo's trade group, he'll tell you now. You don't have to subscribe to this, right? But this is just so cool to me. Is like, that's a BART, that's a BART inverse, that's a BART inverse, that's a BART. It's kind of cool. I'm still making sense of it. And when I've been talking to ISO doesn't use much of this at all. He just uses a handful of their tools. But that one, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And I really wish the liquidation heat map was multi-coins. This is the one I like, just the way the colors look, my eyes work with it better. 1 hour Binance BTC, yeah. Yeah. That is a cool friggin' chart. I'll screenshot this and put it in the Discord. Anyway, I've been playing with it. I don't know if I'll stay, but we'll see. I'm gonna play with it some more and see if I can actually start trading with it. But for the most part, like the levels and stuff they print, I see it on the rainbow trends, so it's kind of interesting because it's basically confirming this stuff as well. But anyway, I'm gonna get going. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and let's go see if there's anybody, if we have any friends on who are streaming, we can go raid them. Let me see. Following crypto. No. I don't see anybody worth. I like Cold Blood Chiller. See if that works. Nope, didn't work. Alright, here we go. Officially this time. I'll see you guys. Hit us up in the Discord if you got any questions, or the main website, rainbow-trends.com. Later.
Got it. Delectables, lickable treat. Deliciously delectable delectables.
I watch every Brian Watt video now. Nice job.